Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men would deceive us ever. One foot in sea and one on shore. To one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny.
Hello, everybody. Oops. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. We have with us today Brandon, Robert, Bill, and Sheila to join me in performing impromptu works of the Bard of Stratford upon Avon for you guys. And according to the random choice, the random order that's chosen, Bill is going to be our first monologue. Brandon is on deck. She will go after. Let me bring the wheel up. Okay, so Bill's monologue is going to be So whenever you're ready.
I'm getting in. I assume I get to the point where I say, "Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing." I stop before that.
That sounds about right. I don't have it in front of me right now, but yeah, just you use your judgment on where to stop.
Okay. Alas, poor Yorick. I know him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I've kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning? Quite chapfallen? Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick to this favor. She must come. Make her laugh at that. Scene.
Hey, thank you, Bill. While Bill was performing, I said Eleanor joined us temporarily, but then we lost her, and actually it was going to be her turn. If she, hope. And speaking of people that I was expecting to be here, just to mention, Maggie had texted me, said she's going to be late, but she expects to be here, so that's good. We'll have another player, at least according to what she said in her text. But anyway, since Eleanor disappeared, and it is Brandon's turn. Brandon is performing, and I am on deck. And unfortunately, we saw this before we went live. She's having an issue with the green screen. She is invisible for this, but we can still hear her, and so we can at least hear her great performance, even if we can't see it. Okay, so her monologue is going to be Spring for Banana. Philip the Bastard, Mad World, Mad Kings, King John, Act 2, Scene 1. I believe that's the very end of the scene, reflecting on what I seem to recall as one of the longest scenes in Shakespeare. We can't see you, but just to mention, you are still there, correct? Uh-oh. Well, I guess we'll have to come back to her. See, we knew she had an issue with her camera, but all right. In that case, I will perform, and I'll spin for myself and see if hopefully she comes back and get her in. Okay, so my monologue will be. Juliet, that I speak with him who is my husband. Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Ah, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours' wife, have mingled it? Wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you mistaking offer up to joy. My husband lives that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death, that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or if sour woe delights in fellowship, and needly will be ranked with other griefs. Why followed not, when she said Tybalt's dead, thy father or thy mother, nay, or both? Which modern lamentations might have moved, but with a rearward following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished. To speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, no measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse? Okay. Let's see. Brandon, are you back? Can you hear us now? It was your turn before mine, but then we couldn't. It's too bad. I'm thinking we got you here. All right, so we'll skip to the next one. Did Henry make it? Oh, actually, Eleanor made it back. Hi, Eleanor. Great, it's your turn now.
Okay, good.
Okay, your monologue will be. Ooh, St. Crispin's Day.
Oh. Henry 5, 4, 3. Let's see. 4, 3. Okay. Got it.
If you want me to give you your cue, oh, that we had
Sure.
one half of those men in England that did no work today.
What's he that so vicious? My cousin Westmoreland? No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enow to do our country loss, and if to live the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not more one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not if my garments wear. Such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. No, faith, my cause. Wish not a man from England. God's peace. I would not lose so great an honor as one man more, methinks, would share from me for the best hope I have. Oh, do not wish one more. Rather proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. We would not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when the day is named, and rouse him at the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is Saint Crispian. Then will he strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot, but he'll remember with advantages what feat he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. The story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispian shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whilst any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's day.
Okay, thank you, Eleanor. It's great. Oh, good. And Maggie just made it in. So yeah, she said she was going to be late. Glad she made it eventually. However, before we and actually, she would have the next turn, but let's keep trying to see if Brandon, can you hear?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
Now
me?
great. Did you see back when it was your turn and you couldn't go? Did you see what we
No,
spun?
yeah, I know. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. Anyway, okay, it's King John 2-1, and could you give me the cue?
I don't recall. This is this is like after the very end of the scene when everyone's exited, a very long scene, and he's just reflecting on everything that just happened and the political opportunities and the people that
I'll
he
find
just saw that
quickly.
So
I'll find it anon.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mad world, mad kings, mad composition. John, to stop Arthur's title in the whole, hath willingly departed with a part. And France, whose armor conscience buckled on with zeal and charity, brought to the field as God's own soldier, rounded in the ear with that same purpose changer, that sly devil, that broker that still breaks the pate of faith, that daily break vow. He that wins of all, of kings, of beggars, old men, young men, maids, who having no external thing to lose but the word maid, cheats the poor maid of that smooth-faced gentleman, tickling commodity, the bias of the world, who is of itself pleased well to run even upon even ground, till this advantage, this vile drawing bias, this sway of motion, this commodity makes it take head from all indifferency, from all direction, purpose, course, intent. And this same bias, this commodity, this bog, this broker, this all-changing world, clapped on the outward eye of fickle France, had drawn him from his own determined aid, from a resolved and honorable war, to a most base and vile concluded peace. And why rail I on this commodity? But for because he hath not wooed me yet, not that I have the power to clutch my hand when my fair angels would salute my palm, but my hand, as unattempted yet, like a poor beggar raileth on the rich. Well, whiles I am a beggar, I will rail and say there is no sin but to be rich. And being rich, my virtue shall be to say there is no vice but beggary, since kings break faith upon commodity. Gain, be my Lord, for I will worship thee. Scene.
Okay, thank you, Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie, who just joined us, it's your turn.
Okay.
And then Sheila. Okay, Maggie's monologue is going to be...
Oh,
Lago, I think more. Awesome.
Othello, Act 3, Act
No,
1.
no,
Scene.
Act 1, Scene 3. I believe the very end of the scene.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, Othello. Getting there. Act 1, Scene 3. Oops. Okay, it's a long scene. Oh, golly Moses. Okay, wait, no. Unfortunately, in Act 1, Scene 3, the very end is, thus do I ever make my soul a purse. Hello? Mark? Hello? Mark?
Yes, it does start with that before he says, I hate the more.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I see it now. Okay. Thus do I ever make my fool my purse. For I mine own gained knowledge should profane if I would time expend with such a snipe, but for my sport and profit. I hate the Moor, and it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. I know not if it be true, but I, for mere suspicion in that kind, will do as if for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let me see now. To get his place and to plume up my will is double knavery. How? Let's see. After some time, to abuse Othello's ear that he is too familiar with his wife. He hath a person and a smooth dispose to be suspected, framed to make women false. The more is of a free and open nature that thinks men honest that but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I halved. It is engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
Okay, great. Thank you, Maggie. So Sheila, you are up now. Sheila, then Robert, and Henry, who was with us and said he had to leave, but he was going to try to get back. Hopefully he'll come as well. But we still got Sheila and Robert before we spin for scene. So Sheila's monologue is going to be... Richard, was every woman in this manner. Okay. That's the monologue after the scene with Lady Anne. I think I put the title right because he's not King Richard yet. He's still Duke of Gloucester at this time. So whenever you're ready.
Here we go. Was ever woman in this humor wooed? Was ever woman in this humor won? I'll have her, but I will not keep her long. What, I, that killed her husband and her father, to take her in her heart's extremest hate, with curses in her mouth, tears in her eyes, the bleeding witness of her hated by, having God, her conscience, and these bars against me, and I, nothing to back my suit at all, but the plain devil and dissembling looks, and yet to win her all the world to nothing. Hath she forgot already that brave Prince Edward, her lord, whom I, some 3 months hence, stabbed in my angry mood at Tewkesbury? A sweeter and a lovelier gentleman, framed in the prodigality of nature, young, valiant, wise, and no doubt right royal, the spacious world cannot again afford, and will she yet debase her eye on me, that cropped the golden prime of this sweet prince, and made her a widow to a woeful bed? On me, whose all not equals Edward's moiety? On me, that halt and am unshapen thus? My dukedom to a beggarly denier, I do mistake my person all this while, upon my life. She finds, although I cannot, myself to be a marvelous proper man. Albeit charges for a looking glass, and entertain some score or two of tailors to study fashion, to adorn my body. Since I am crept in favor with myself, will maintain it with a little cost. But first I'll turn yon fellow in his grave, and then return lamenting to my love. Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I may see my shadow as I pass. Scene.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. So our last monologue before we do scenes, unless Henry makes it back, will be by Robert. Robert's going to do. Morning, O blessed bleeding sun.
Timon of Athens.
Act 4, Scene 3 begins, O blessed bleeding sun.
Okay.
Oh, and just before you go, sorry, Henry did just rejoin us, so that's good. So you'll do this, Henry. You're on deck. You'll go after Robert does this one, and
Okay. O blessed breeding sun, draw from the earth rotten humidity. Below thy sister's orb, infect the air, twin brothers of one womb, whose procreation, residence, and birth scarce is divided. Touch them with several fortunes. The greater scorns the lesser, not nature, to whom all sores lay siege, can bear great fortune, but by contempt of nature. Raise me this beggar and deny it that lord. The senator shall bear contempt hereditary. The beggar native honor. It is the pasture lauds the rother's sides, the want that makes him lean. Who dares in purity of manhood stand upright and say, this man's a flatterer? If one be he, so are they all, for every rise of fortune is smoothed by that below. The learned pay ducks to the golden fool. All is oblique. There's nothing level in our cursed natures but direct villainy. Therefore, be abhorred all feasts, societies, and throngs of men. He's semblable, yea, himself, Timon declares, destruction, fan mankind, earth, yield me roots. Who seeks for better of thee, sauce his palate with thy most operant poison. What is here? Gold. Yellow, glittering, precious gold. No gods, I am no idle votarist. Roots, you clear heavens, this much of this will make black, white, foul, fair, wrong, right, base, noble, old, young, coward, valiant. Ah, you gods, why this? What this, you gods? Why, this will lug your priests and servants from your sides, pluck stout men's pillows from below their heads. This yellow slave will knit and break religions, bless the accursed, make the whore leprosy adored, place thieves and give them title, knee and approbation with senators on the bench. This is it that makes the whopping widow wed again, she whom the spittle house and ulcerous sores would cast the gorge at. This embalms and spices to the April day again. Come, damned earth, thou common whore of mankind that puts odds among the root of nations, I will make thee do thy right nature. Scene.
wow, that was awesome. The building rage. It started slow. You really built it up as you went. Henry, we'll do our last monologue before we spin for scenes, and then okay. So your monologue, Henry, is going to be. Lure, how sharp they're going to sit and don't get caught. It ends. I did it by the famous line. It ends with that. I can't remember how that monologue starts, but the one where he starts, where he's raging and on a roll, and it's going to end with how sharp they're going to.
King Lear 1-4. What was it? You're saying it's line 266 in the scene?
I believe that's what I wrote down as the best approximation.
Oh. What were the words in it? Life and... Here, nature.
The one where, toward the very end where he says the famous line, "How sharper than a serpent's tooth."
Sorry, what was the famous line? Life and death, I am ashamed thou hast power to shake my manhood thus. Sorry, what was the famous line?
How sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child.
Yes, got it. Okay.
Okay. So whenever you're ready.
Here, nature, here, dear goddess, here. Suspend thy purpose if thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful. Into her womb convey sterility. Dry up in her the organs of increase. And from her derogate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create her child of spleen, that it may live and be a thwart, disnatured torment to her. Let it stamp wrinkles in her brow of youth, with cadent tears, fret channels in her cheeks, turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away! Away! Whew, that's good. I enjoyed that.
Okay, thank you, Henry.
Thank you.
It's lacking so much today. So we got a good turnout to that. That's good. So we should be able to get good participation here, and also with the scenes. We should get quite a few scenes as well with so many people, which is good. But I do want to clarify, Sheila, you said you had to go early. So
right, and fortunately or unfortunately, I've shared with the other people here that Richard III begins in about 25 minutes with the Fairbanks reading
that's the other
group.
thing I was going to say. Yeah, usually I say announcements at the end, but if you want it, since you have to go, if you want to make an announcement about that, go ahead and do that now.
Yes, we are halfway through the week-long marathon of Bardathon in Fairbanks, Alaska. There is a call-in number, and you can participate simply by calling in, and they will assign parts as they go based on the turnout, whether they're online or whether they are in person at the library in Fairbanks. The call-in number is 907-251-1638. You can call in to participate or just to listen, and the play coming up in a few minutes is Richard III.
Okay, great. So you have to go now, or like if we, after I assign the
A few
roles.
minutes before before whatever the hour is there, yes. In less than 25 minutes, let's put it that way.
Okay, well then that probably means that we can still include you as long as we just range it, whatever scene you get assigned to. We'll just make sure that one goes first, if you think you can do.
Not
do
a
it.
problem. I will do what I can. Just pick
Great.
the scenes and we'll go from there.
Okay, great. So let's pick the scenes and well, correction. Let's let the wheel put the scenes. So first we'll do Cassius and Brutus. 1.2. There's a short discrete scene here between Octavia and Antony and Cleopatra 3.4. This is Titus Andronicus, the fly scene where he kills. That's Act 3, Scene 2. That's Titus and Marcus. And then first one to Sunny. Oh, next turn, Act 3, Scene 2. So Portia and Sunny. Okay. So there are 8 of us, and the 8 roles that are available are Cassius and Brutus in Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2, Octavia and Antony in Antony and Cleopatra, Act 3, Scene 4, Titus and Marcus in Titus Andronicus, Act 3, Scene 2, and Portia and Bassanio in Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 2. Bill has first choice amongst those roles. What would you like?
Titus, please.
Great. Eleanor, what would you like?
What was the first scene again?
Cassius and Brutus in Julius Caesar. Act 1, Scene 2 of Caesar.
Hold on. Julius Caesar. Act 1, Scene 2.
Yes.
Cassius and Brutus. Okay. I'll be Cassius.
Okay. Brannon. Such difficulties with adding. Brannon, what would you like? Are you there? I'll skip her. Maggie.
Yes.
Maggie, what would you like?
I will take. Sorry, there's just a note in there. It says that mention to Mark that Henry can't stay. I'm just letting you know.
Oh,
Yeah, I just read that in the notes. So
well,
I will.
Henry,
It's just
you
that I
have to
want
go
to go
right
to
now, or
I
you have to go
want to go
now. Or,
I want to go to Fairbanks, so it's going to be. Can you hear me? I want to go
okay,
to the
why don't-
Fairbanks, so it's going to be difficult.
okay.
Well,
you wanna-
Julia and Henry pick the same scene, and they go first.
That's what I
Yeah.
was just gonna say. If Sheila and Henry pick the same scene, then they can go. Then they can go first, and then we can say goodbye to them if you want to do that.
I'm willing to let the two of them choose right now.
Okay, that's a good idea. Sheila and Henry, you two can decide. Let's see. Bill took Titus, and so there's
What are you in the
Octavia
mood
and
for, Henry? We've got Titus Andron. Oh, excuse me. We've got
No.
Merchant of Venice or Antony and Cleopatra.
I didn't. What? Just say that again.
Pick, please.
Yes, the two scenes to
You're gonna
choose
get
from are
some good
Antony and
stuff.
Cleopatra with Octavius and Antony, or Merchant of Venice with Portia and Bassanio.
Octavius and Antony.
Okay.
okay. So let me create So we'll do Octavia and Antony. After the two that are in a hurry have performed, we'll assign the roles for the other three scenes. So Octavia. Antony. That's
What's this,
act
Antony
3,
and
scene 4.
Oh, Octavia. So you want me to do Octavia and you'll do my husband?
Sure.
Okay.
Antony and this is Antony and Cleo 3-4.
Yes. 3-4.
Oh, yes, it's quite short. All right.
Are we doing it now?
Yeah, I think. Are we? Yeah.
Okay. We're
Nay,
fine.
nay, Octavia. Oh, you got it.
Yes.
Nay, nay, Octavia. Not only that were excusable, that and thousands more of semblable import, but he hath waged new wars gainst Pompey, made his will and read it to public ear, spoke scantily of me when perforce he could not but pay me terms of honour, cold and sickly he rented them, most narrow measure lent me, when the best hint was given him, he not took it or did it from his teeth.
Good my lord, believe not all, or if you must believe, stomach not all. A more unhappy lady, if this division chance, ne'er stood between, praying for both parts. The good gods me presently, when I shall pray, oh blessed my lord and husband, undo that prayer by crying out as loud, oh bless my brother. Husband win brother, prays and destroys the prayer. No midway twixt these extremes at all.
Gentle Octavia, let your best love draw to that point which seeks best to preserve it. If I lose mine honour, I lose myself. Better I were not yours than yours, so branchless. But as you requested, yourself shall go between. The meantime, lady, I'll raise the preparation of a war, shall stain your brother. Make your soonest haste, so your desires are yours.
Thanks to my lord. The Jove of power makes me most weak, your reconciler. Wars twixt you twain would be as if the world should cleave and that slain men should solder up their rift.
When it move with them, provide your going, choose your own company. and command what cost your heart has mind to. End of scene.
Okay, great. Thank you. Great. Thank you for participating,
Thank you
you guys.
so
And glad we got to get a scene from you before you had to go. So bye to you two, but the rest of us, Alessandra and I, while we were doing that, Maggie sent the private chat. She said she wants Portia, so she chose. Let's try again, see if Brandon is with us. Hey, Brandon, can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, the roles that we have left, again, you can do Brutus to Eleanor's Cassius, you can do Marcus to Bill's Titus, or you can do Bassanio to Maggie's Portia.
I'll do Bassanio.
Okay. And then myself, I'm gonna Brutus. I'll take Brutus to Eleanor's Cassius, and so that leaves Robert to be Marcus to Bill's Titus. Okay, so it's going to be me and Eleanor are going to do Brutus and Cassius. Then Bill and Robert are going to do Titus and Marcus. Then Maggie and Brandon are going to do Portia and Bassanio. Okay, so let me get Eleanor. Where are you? Here we are. Okay. Brutus and Cassius. Have you found where we're starting from? Because I did.
Will you go see the order of the course?
That's the first one. Okay, I found it. So let's see. You're Cassius. So you. Okay, go ahead.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. I have veiled my look. I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed am I of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, and the eyes sees not itself, but by reflections some other things.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I've heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that notable Brutus had his eyes.
To what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus. Were I a common laugher, or did use to stale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester, if you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard and after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then hold me dangerous.
What means this shouting? Or do you fear that people choose Caesar for their king?
Aye. Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. Wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me, if it be aught toward the general good? Set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. But let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as life not be as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing on with her shores, Caesar said to me, Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point? Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, Help me, Cassius, or I sink. I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but nod on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that same eye whose bend doth all the world did lose his luster. I did hear him groan. I, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, Give me some drink, Tintinius, as a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, and it is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, and the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Age, thou art ashamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than one man? When could they say till now that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man. Now, you and I have heard our fathers say there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
If you do love me, I am nothing jealous. But you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this, and of these times I shall recount hereafter. For this present I would not, so with love I might entreat you, be any further moved. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say I will with patience hear, and find a time both to meet to hear the answer of such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions at this time. It's like to lay upon us.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
Games are done, and Caesar's returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath preceded worthy note today.
I will do so. But look you, Cassius, the anger spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a children's train. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, and Cicero looks with such ferret and such fiery eyes, and as we have seen him in the Capitol, being crossed in conference by some senators.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Here's where Caesar and Antony enter. Okay, great. So next up we have the Titus scene with Titus and Marcus. So that's going to be Bill and Robert. Great.
Ready?
Okay, whenever you two are.
What dost thou strike at, Marcus, with thy knife?
What? That I have killed, my lord. A fly.
Out on thee, murderer! Thou hast killed my heart. Mine eyes are cloyed with view of tyranny. A deed of death done on the innocent becomes not Titus's brother. Get thee gone. I see thou art not for my company.
Alas, my lord, I have but killed a fly.
But how? If that fly had a father and mother, how would he hang his slender gilded wings and buzz lamenting doings in the air? Poor harmless fly, that with his pretty buzzing melody came here to make us merry, and thou hast killed him.
Pardon me, sir, it was a black, ill-favored fly, like to the empress's more. Therefore I killed him.
Then pardon me for reprehending thee, for thou hast done a charitable deed. Give me thy knife. I will insult on him, flattering myself as if I were the Moor. Come hither purposely to poison me. There's for thyself, and that's for Tamara. Ah, sirrah, yet I think we are not brought so low that between us we can kill a fly that comes in likeness of a coal-black Moor.
Alas, poor man. Grief has so wrought on him, he takes false shadows for true substances.
Come, take away. Lavinia, go with me. I'll to thy closet and go read with thee sad stories chanced in the times of old. Come, boy, and go with me. Thy sight is young, and thou shalt read when mine begin to dazzle. See.
Okay, lastly, we have Portia and Bassanio. It's going to be Maggie and Brandon. I think we would start after he's chosen correctly, and there's because they both have great monologues that are on the wheel, on the monologue wheel. Let's see.
Yeah. I thought I had it set up. Okay, yeah. This is scene 2.
Oh, wait.
Act 3, scene 2.
Scene 2. Yeah.
And you're saying you want it to start.
Oh, you know what? Actually, no. You probably should
Start from the top. Okay.
Yeah, I guess start from the top and.
Okay, and it cuts off later because other people come in.
Yeah, cut off when other people come in. Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay. I pray you, tarry. Pause a day or two before you hazard, for in choosing wrong, I lose your company. Therefore, forbear a while. There's something tells me, but it is not love. I would not lose you. And you know yourself, hate counsels not in such quality. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought, I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. I could teach you how to choose right, but then I am then forsworn. So I will never be. So you may miss me, but if you do, you'll make me wish a sin that I had been forsworn. Beshrew your eyes that have o'erlooked and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so all yours. Oh, these naughty times put bars between the owners and their rights, and so, though yours, not yours, prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it, not I. I speak too long, but 'tis to appease the time, to eke it and to draw out in length, to stay you from election.
Oh, let me choose. For as I am, I live upon the rack.
On the rack, Bassanio, then confess what treason there is mingled with your love.
None but that ugly treason of mistrust, which makes me fear that enjoying of my love, there may be as well be amity and life tween snow and fire as treason and my love.
Aye, but I fear you speak upon the rack where men enforced do speak anything.
Promise me life and I'll confess the truth.
Well, then confess and live.
Confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. Oh, happy torment when my torture doth teach me answers for deliverance, but let me to my fortune and the caskets.
Away, then. I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Nerissa and the rest, stand all aloof. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Then if he lose, he makes a swan-like end, fading in music, that the comparison may stand more proper. My eye shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him. He may win. And what is music then? Then music is even as a flourish when true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch. Such it is as are those dulcet sounds in break of day that creeping into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage. Now he goes, and with no less presence, but with much more love, the young Alcides, when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by the howling Troy to the sea monster. I stand for sacrifice. The rest aloof are the Dardanian wives with bleared visages come forth to view the issue of the exploit. Go, Hercules! Live thou, I live. With much, much more dismay I view the fight than thou that makes the fray. Tell me where is fancy bred, or in the heart, or in the head? How begot, how nourished? Reply, reply. It is engendered in the eyes, with gazing fed, and fancy dies in the cradle where it lies. Let us all ring fancy's knell. I'll begin it, ding dong bell. Ding dong
bell. Oh, so may the outward shows be least themselves. Oh, the world is still deceived with ornament and law. What plea so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil. In religion, what damned error it with the text, hiding the grossness with fair ornament. There is no vice so simple, but assumes some mark of virtue on his outward parts. How many cowards whose hearts are all as false as stairs of sand wear yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars. who inward searched have livers white as milk, and these assume but fowler's excrement to render them redoubted. Oh, look on beauty, and you shall see 'tis purchased by the weight, which therein works a miracle in nature, making them lightest that wear most of all. So are those crisp, snaky golden locks, which make such wanton gambols with the wind upon supposed fairness, often known to be the dowry of a second head, the skull that spread them in the sculptor. Thus ornament is but the gilded shore to a most dangerous sea, the beauteous scar failing in Indian beauty. In a word, the seeming trust which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. Therefore, thou art gaudy gold, hard food for Midas. I will none of thee, yet none of thee, thou pale and common drudge, between man and man, but thou meager lead, which rather threatenest, thou dost promised aught. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence, and here choose I, joy be the consequence.
Oh, how all the other passions fleet to air as doubtful thoughts and rash embraced despair and shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy. O love, be moderate, allay thy ecstasy, in measure reign thy joy, scant the success, I feel too much thy blessing, make it less for fear I surf it.
What find I here? Oh, fair Portia's counterfeit. What demigod hath come so near creation? Move these eyes, or whether riding on the balls of mine, see they in motion. Oh, your severed lips parted with sugar breath, so sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Here in her hairs the painter placed a spider, and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men, faster than gnats in cobwebs. But her eyes, how could he see to do them? Having made one, methinks it should have power to still both his, and leave itself unfurnished. Yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprizing it. So fair the shadow doth limp behind the substance. Here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. You that chosen not by the view, chance is fair and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss. A gentle scroll, fair lady, by your leave. I come by note to give and to receive. Like one of two contending in a prize that thinks he hath done well in people's eyes. Oh, hearing applause. Oops. I lost my place. Hearing applause and a universal shout, giddy in spirit, still gazing in a doubt whether these pearls of praise be his or no. As thrice fair ladies stand I, even so, as doubtful whether what I see be true, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you.
You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am. Though for myself alone I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better, yet for you I would be trebled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich, than only to stand high in your account I might in virtue, beauties, livings, friends exceed account. But the full sum of me is sum of something which, to term in gross, is an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. Happy in this, she is not yet so old, but she may learn. Happier than this, she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. But now I was the lord of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen o'er myself. And even now, but now, this house, these servants, and this same myself are yours, my lord. I give them with this ring, which when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love and be my vantage to exclaim on you.
Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Oh, only my blood speaks to you in my veins. And there is such confusion in my powers after some oration fairly spoke by a beloved prince. There doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude, where every something being blent together turns to a wild of nothing save of joy, expressed and not expressed, but when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. Oh, then be bold to say Bassanio's dead.
Okay, great job, you two. Okay, my computer's lagging so much today. Thank you, everybody. Good. Glad we had a good turnout today. Good performances as always. So had a good round, and hopefully we will in the future. So nice seeing you guys today. Hope people watching on YouTube enjoyed, and we'll see you same time 2 weeks from now. So I'll see you 2 weeks from today again for the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. See you guys then. Bye now.